Hello everyone, it's Glenda and welcome back to my channel, Creative Grandma. I hope everyone is having a happy crochet or knitting day. Today's video, I wanted to talk a little bit about the difference between the Premier gradient yarn and the Lion brand gradient yarn. And I've had a lot of comments where some of my subscribers and viewers are getting confused between the two yarns. So two brand new gradient yarns come out, one by Premier and one by Lion brand. So I'm going to get started with the Premier gradient yarn. I'm going to give you all the information. Then I'm going to show you the Lion brand gradient yarn, give you all the information, and then we'll talk about the yarn. We'll talk about the softness, and we'll talk about how many strands equal 1 inch. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first yarn I'm going to talk about is the Premier Anti-Pilling Everyday Worsted Gradient Yarn. Look how beautiful. Now this yarn comes in a 360 yard cake, 330 meters, 7 ounces, 200 grams. It is 100% anti-pilling, which means it stays looking new wash after wash, and it prevents pilling and fuzz balls. It's a number 4 medium weight yarn. It is machine wash warm, tumble dry, and it has been tested and approved against 350 harmful substances. Now, when you look at this cake of yarn, you're going to see one thing that I am very, very happy that they done, and that is put a pull tab in the center. So if you want to start with the lighter color and work out, you're going to have that pull tab. And sometimes I know we all get frustrated trying to find the center of the cake. Now, the other point I want to make is it's an anti-pilling yarn. So it's wonderful that when they chose to do the gradient, they chose to use a more upscale type of yarn to do this with the gradient. It's super soft. Now, this is a silky soft yarn. Now, the Premier Anti-Pilling Gradient is classified as a number 4. I found it to be more of a thin 4, at least in my opinion. So I guess it depends on what you're used to using. I mean, there's so many different varieties. You can have 10 different 4-weight yarns, and you can have a different thickness for everyone. Now the Premier yarn, I have to give it 10 stars if I'm judging this from 0 to 10. I just think they got everything right with this yarn. The softness, the pull tab especially, is wonderful for any of us that hate to look for the center of a cake. The colors are beautiful. So this color is yellow tones. This is color 2115-08. So I'm going to hold up the Lion brand Mandela gradient. You can see the difference between the yellows, and you can see the difference in the size of the yarn. They're both classified as a number 4. So before I tell you about the Lion brand gradient, someone asked me to show the yarn wrapped around and how many times you can wrap it in an inch. So here it is. It's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 times between the 6 and 7. So 11 times I wrapped it between that inch. So if that helps you determine, I didn't know this was a thing on how to determine yarn, but it's an excellent way if that's how you judge your yarn. So again, it's 11 strands in a 1-inch section on my roller. So now let's talk about the Lion brand Mandela gradient. You can see right away, this is a more plump yarn. And that's what I was saying in my other video. Now, I have to say both yarns are wonderful. It just depends on what you like to crochet with. If you like a soft, silky, thinner number 4, you're probably going to like the Premier gradient better. If you like a more plump number 4, now this in my opinion is almost a plump 4 light chunky. It is thick. So let me give you the information, and then I do want to compare some of the colors between the two. The Lion brand Mandela gradient comes in a 5.29 ounce cake, 150 grams, 295 yards, 270 meters. It is machine wash and dryable. It's 90% acrylic, 10% nylon. It's classified as a number 4 medium weight yarn. And the color I'm showing you is the yellow color 207 BB. So you can see it has beautiful colors. Now in the video I did about this yarn, when I showed the yarn swatches, you can see how pretty that works up. You can see how those yellows and that gradient, how beautiful those colors transition. I just thought it was really pretty. So let me go ahead and wrap the Lion Brand Mandala around my ruler, and then I'll show you and tell you how many strands go between a 1-inch section. So the Lion Brand gradient is 9 strands per inch, and the Premier, the pink one, is 11 strands per inch. So it is definitely a thicker yarn. So now I just want to show you and compare some of the colors. This is the Premier, this is the yellow, and this is the Lion Brand Mandala yellow. So you can see the difference. And then the only other one I have here to compare, because I was using my Premier gradient in a blanket, so I don't have any full skeins. So this is the only other full skein I have left. This is the Premier gradient in the color Sky Tones. And this is the Lion Brand Mandala in Aqua. So both of them are just beautiful. So now I want to show you a blanket that I just finished with the Premier gradient yarn. And what happened, I'm going to look at my notes, is I chained 189 and I used a size 10J crochet hook. Now I chose 7 different colors, but it's like anything. Sometimes you start a project and then it might not come out to the size you want. So this stitch pattern, when you put it on, it does stretch out. But when you lay it flat, it kind of wants to go in on itself. So what I done for this blanket was I started with 7 colors, and I started with the center of each cake. And as I worked it, the colors were going darker and darker and darker. But what happened was this stitch pattern, I thought it was wider, but when I did the stitch pattern, it kind of pulls in on itself because of the ripple. It just pulls in. It has a beautiful look, but I'm not getting to the darker colors because it would have been really narrow and long. So I turned it into a child-sized blanket. So even though I used 7 colors, I didn't use the whole entire skein. Look at this blanket. Look how pretty. I just thought the colors were amazing. It just has a beautiful look, beautiful drape. It's soft, it's cozy, it's bright, it's cheerful. And I think anybody would love a beautiful rainbow blanket. And this crochet tutorial will be coming soon. So again, just to recap, I think both yarns are truly gorgeous. The benefits of the Premier is it's super silky soft, but it's a thinner yarn, and it does have that pull tab, which everyone will love. The Lion Brand is also an excellent yarn. It does not have a pull tab, so you do have to reach in and pull out the center, and you will get a little blob. It's not that bad. I've been pulling them out and working on my samples, and it's very easy to find the center. It's a thicker yarn, but it's not as silky soft as the Premier gradient. It's soft, but it's not as silky soft. So that is my comparison between the Lion Brand and the Premier gradient yarns. Now I am an affiliate of both yarn companies, Premier and Lion Brand, but I still try to give you the best information I can about all yarns when I review them, and I hope this has been helpful. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of the crochet fun here on Creative Grandma's channel. Now I'll put affiliate links in the description box to both of these yarns, the Premier gradient and the Lion Brand gradient. And if you want to click those links, it just helps my channel, and the links are free and cost you nothing to use. So thank you everybody, and until next time, stay inspired and happy crocheting. Bye everyone.